we are looking for, and I explained our project. The title of our project is Plain Text Extractor. And what it does is that it extracts plain text from images. I am Adesmi Adeosola, and here with my group members.
Obafemi Jefferson. Ajibale Samson along the football.
And now we're having Ibuka to explain the code to us.
Okay, so I'll be walking you through the code. So the code is divided into three parts. The first part is titled the starter block, and the starter block contains just basic codes that displays a prompt for the user when you start running the code, and then it directs the user to select a file, an image to read from the person's file directory, and then it takes in a very important prompt, which is called the user prompt. The user prompt tells the code the next place to go and the next part of the loops to run. So then the other part of the loop, the other part of the code is the part 2, which is the yes loop. If the user's prompt is yes from the starter block, then the second part of the code runs, which is the yes loop. If the user's prompt is no, the third part of the code runs, which is the no loop. So any of the parts that runs, when the image is selected, the first thing that the file does is that it saves the image as as a variable called im. Then it converts it to a grayscale, it binarizes it, and then it takes the darkest parts of the image and the lightest parts of the image and compares the data to a pre-existing data of letters, and then it outputs the image and thanks the user for using the code. Thank you.
Alright, here is the image in which our code will be extracting. Alright, impedance of series, LCR circuit. Now we'll be having Samson to run the code for us and see how it works.
Alright, so I'll continue from where my colleague Ibuka ended, or where he stopped, and I'll be running the code. I'll showing us how it works, or how it works. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is come into the side, and I'm going to run the code. So it gives us a prompt and tells us that the extracted image is going to be displayed as the output program, then asks us to pick an image. So I'm going to go into my directory to select the image I actually want, and so this is the image, test image. So if that's the image I want, alright, so I can confirm that yes, this was the image my colleague David snapped earlier. Then I'm going to close this guy now, and I'm going to type in yes. So this is the image I want. Then it gives me the output, which was the actual text that was read from the image. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show us other cases for which we implemented to see what happens if we actually don't want the image and what happens if we want the image. So for the second part, we're going to check for a case. So if I don't actually want the image I selected, so what happens? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run the code. Okay, yes, I'm going to run the code. Then this gives me the prompt as usual, asks me to pick an image from my directory. So I'm going to select an image that I actually want. So, okay, this is not the image I want to, this was not the image we snapped earlier. So I'm going to type in no, and it says, okay, do I want to proceed? Okay, so yes, I want to proceed. I want to actually pick the image I actually wanted. So it asks me to pick another image. Then select the image I actually wanted. Gives me this dialog box, and yes, this is the actual image I wanted. Then I'm going to type in yes, and it outputs the image I actually wanted. So for the last case, when we actually want to end the program after we've selected an image that we don't want, so come here. Is this the image I wanted? No. Then I type in no. Now, do I want to proceed? No. Then it tells me, thank you for using this program, and that's all.
Thank you for watching. Bye.